Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us on this Thursday morning. We are zooming through this week. Weekend is almost upon us, and we got a 3-day weekend. We'll talk more about that later. But I've got a special co-host joining me this morning. First time. Have you worked on this show before, Carl? Carl Mays is joining us as our co-host.
Well, you know, Todd, let me tell you something, man. Anytime it comes an opportunity to be able to sit next to the reigning king, man, I'm always here. I'm always here for Up to the Minute, man.
Well, we appreciate you joining us as one of our co-hosts. We appreciate you taking the time to do so. We look forward to having you on this show and ones in the future. We want to welcome everybody who's watching us this morning. We're on Facebook and YouTube. We're live just about every morning when HCC is in session, Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. And Carl, they can also watch us in social media anytime, and we're on HCCTV.
That's right. That's right. You know, I always tell people, stay, queued up with the Twitter, the LinkedIn, the Instagram. You know, when he says HCCTV, you can see it noon, 5, 10 p.m. I think it's Monday through Friday, man. So this is where it is.
It is where it is. That's right, Carl. Okay. We're going to check in with you in just a moment because you've got a couple of special guests you're going to be interviewing. But I want to check in with our guest coming up later on in the show. It's Virtual Family Fun Day. And we've got two guests joining us now, William and Michelle Roe, who are with Armored Combat Worldwide. And you guys are with the Houston Horde, which I imagine is like the Houston chapter of this. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We're actually a international sports league, which is Armored Combat Worldwide, and we travel all over the world, and we do full contact steel fighting.
Now, when we're talking full combat, we're talking suits of armor, everything can go in this. So we're looking forward to talking with you guys a little later on in the show. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Carl, I'm going to turn things over to you because you've got two sisters who work for the SGA, and I think you're a bit familiar with them. So go ahead and take it away.
Yeah. I wanted to get a chance to be able to highlight these two because I thought it was very unique that we have siblings, that are leading our Student Government Association here at the Central Campus. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome the president and the vice president of the Student Government Association coming up for the upcoming years, should I say, 2022, 2023, Ms. Sahar and Sahar El Hoderi. I hope I pronounced that right, girls. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Sahar and Sahar, yes. El Hoderi.
Yeah, El Hoderi. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right because I know I say it, so many different ways, and you guys are so cool. You don't make a big deal out of it, but I want to make sure that the people know, it's El Hoderi, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I want to do. I guess to be able to kind of start off. Let's start with Sahar first. Being president of SGA, even though your actual term hasn't started yet, you all are also president and vice president, should I say, of the National Society of Leadership and Success here at the Central Campus as well. When you think about, being the leaders of these organizations and also being international students, tell me, Sahar, from your perspective, what does that, look like and how did you even, want to be able to step into a leadership position being in that where you are now?
So at first, it started with the National Society of Leadership and Success. I've always wanted to be, like a student leader involved in organizations since I was in high school. But I remember that I wanted to apply for the head girl when I was in high school, but I didn't. So I didn't feel like I was confident enough and I had to apply and do that. So that's why later on when I graduated high school, I regretted that. I was like, it's not always about winning and actually being the head girl. Maybe I should have just tried. It's about trying as well. So
got you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and I don't mean to cut you off because I want to make sure I get in it. Now, who's the oldest out of the two?
Me,
Sahar.
Okay, so Sarah's the oldest. So Sahar, now that Sarah's the oldest, tell me, watching her lead. I mean, is that how you kind of follow in those footsteps? How did you even just decide? Okay, I want to be in some leadership position as well.
I feel like Sarah actually what brought me first into the National Society of Leadership and Success. She recommended that I also get involved into HCC activities. And I'm so grateful for that. I feel like I knew myself more when I joined these organizations. And then even like when the opportunity came for applying for SGA positions, I was like, I felt like that's my thing. I wanted to also like be involved in that. I felt like I found where I belong or where I want to be. Yeah.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. So, I'm gonna roll back just a little bit because I do want people to be able to know where you all from, and then how did you, make your way to Houston Community College? Either one of you can answer that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're originally from Libya.
Okay.
Yes, the city of Sabha, and we came first 2019.
Okay.
We started like a language school in University of Texas, and then we started actually at Austin Community College at first, and then we moved to transfer to HCC.
Okay, cool. And now, when you were at University of Texas at Austin, or even HCC in Austin, did you all do any leadership positions in any organizations there?
It was only one semester, and it was 2020 where COVID hits. So we only went like for 1 month in person, and then it was all online. Yeah. So
gotcha. Yeah. So that was a weird transitional time. Well, I'm glad we all kind of made it through there. Now, let me ask you this: what is your original language that you speak prior to English?
Yeah, our original language is Arabic. It's our mother tongue. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so how was that transition from, Arabic to English, or even just being able to migrate into, the English culture?
So we first started in high school. When Sahar was 9th grade, I was 11th grade. We moved to a British school in Turkey, which that was a big of a kind of a challenge for us, because we moved all the way from an Arabic curriculum to English curriculum, and we had to study everything in English. It was so we challenged at that time. So when we moved to the US to college, it wasn't that it was like less of a challenge because we were already used to that. We already experienced that.
Yeah, we started to adapt easier to new environments and new people from different places. So that helped a lot when we came here first in the US.
That's really good. Now, let me ask you this. Y'all know that, Houston Community College is the #1 international. Basically, we have the most international students out of any community college in the country. So how does it feel, being, not just sisters, but, being in a community of, an international student population like that here at Houston Community College?
Yeah, I feel like I was actually so glad when I first came to HCC, because I felt I didn't feel so much of an outsider, even though I'm foreign here. I've also in all my classes, I always found someone who's also from somewhere else. Like I got to know them, and we would share, for example, our culture shocks, and so I felt home, even though I was new. So
gotcha. So it really didn't put too much pressure on you. I mean, the transition was pretty cool, and it's always good to be able to get to know others that are from different parts of the world as well. It kind of keeps you exposed. The good thing about it is that not only do you kind of bridge well with, other international students, but how do you work with just the locals that are originally from, the United States? How does that work?
I feel like people here are very welcoming. That's what I felt. Okay. I really appreciate even maybe the language barrier. They would always give me slack or something. They would help me, maybe even coming up with a word. So I never felt like an outsider, or I was always feeling included.
Gotcha. Now let me ask y'all something. I want to make sure we talk forward for a second. Knowing that you all are coming into the Student Government Association for the fall of 2022, you may have an angle that you want to get some things accomplished, but what do you expect to be able to do now that you all are going to be leaders of the voices of the students at the central campus of Houston Community College? What are some of your expectations? What do you want to see kind of move forward, or have an idea for moving forward?
So one of the things that we're deciding to focus on is keeping the student involvement in campus more. We don't want it to be just like people coming in class and just like going home. That's it. We want it to be more than just studying. We want to make more activities, making people more connected to campus, and also so there's a chance for them to actually get to know each other and maybe form more friendships and network. And we're working on some activities to do.
Yeah, so student involvement into the great opportunities that HCC has, basically. Yeah.
Gotcha. I like that. I mean, I think that's a great thing. Todd, man, listen, these ladies are definitely, moving forward, being international students, definitely being student leaders. You guys have a lot on your plate, so I just want to say, listen, being the advisor of the Student Government Association here at the Central Campus, I got a lot of high expectations for you. So I'm gonna just let you know that first. And creating awareness is one of the biggest things we want to do. I want to turn this thing back over to Todd. Todd, let's take it somewhere, man.
All right. Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Sarah and Sahar. Definitely an inspiring story. We look forward to seeing y'all in the future. Thanks for being here.
For having us.
Thank you. We're going to switch gears just a little bit, and it's Thursday, Virtual Family Fun Day, but the next activity we're going to talk about is not virtual. It's in person, it is intense, and it's pretty cool. Now, I talked about this yesterday, and I'm going to introduce William Roe and Michelle Roe. William is the president of the Houston Horde with the Armored Combat Worldwide. Sarah and Michelle, you're also on the team as well, from what I understand. Welcome to you both to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hi.
So, quick story, and I told this to the crew yesterday, but when I went to Stephen F. Austin, when I started off college, I had a roommate, and he was involved. I remember the name of it. It was a group called the Society of Professional Anachronism, if you're familiar with that, where they reenact medieval events. And this was their deal on weekends. He would go out with these guys and ladies as well, I would say. And they made their own armor out of padding, and they got wooden swords. They would go out on the all-purpose fields, get drunk, and just beat the heck out of each other. And that's what they were doing. They come back bloody and drunk and beat up. And I'm thinking, how is this fun? But you guys, you have full armor that y'all put on. You take this pretty seriously, and it looks like you really upped it a level with what you guys are doing.
Yes, sir. So actually how a lot of this stuff got started was those same guys brought this sport from Europe to the United States, and they kicked it off, I want to say in 2013 or 2014. And 2011. And it's been a growing thing ever since. So there's definitely not as much of the drinking and fighting in an open field. It's a lot more civilized now, but it was definitely all started by the same people.
More of a professional atmosphere.
Sure.
Right.
Well, I know you're using real swords and armor, so you wouldn't want to get drunk and beat each other with that. Somebody could lose an arm or something.
Honestly, I don't know that you'd physically be capable of moving while you're under the influence in armor, to be quite honest with you. It weighs so much. I mean, even the lighter armor, it's so heavy, and it encases all of your body. It's not, 60 to 100 pounds on your shoulders. It's spread out throughout your entire body. So just holding out your hand, it gets heavy and starts to fall. And yeah.
I've seen some of these History Channel shows where they actually do fighting where they'll put on real armor and get experts out there to show how the fighting was done. It's not like Game of Thrones or something you see on TV, because you're wearing all that armor, like you said, 60 to 70 pounds of armor. You're swinging around a sword that could be 10, 13 pounds. You're moving a lot slower than you would be on camera or in the movies. It's totally different, isn't it?
Well, you would think. So there's a general way that things go, and it's starting out as a spectator. You're watching it happen, and you're going, "Oh, I could do that."
Yeah.
And then you put on armor, and you find out you can't do it. And then what happens is you go from not being able to do it at all, not being able to move, to being able to climb a ladder, drive a car, ride a bike, jump on a trampoline in full armor head to toe, and you get to where you can do the most technical and acute things in your armor. You learn how to move in it, and it becomes a second skin. So there's definitely kind of a gradual learning curve to being able to function in your armor.
Well, it's like any other sport.
Yeah, well, Michelle, I've seen some pictures we have of you in your armor. The question I've had for you is, where do you get it? And does it cost a heck of a lot? Because I did triathlons years ago, and that would cost a bunch of money because you have to buy the bike, buy the outfits, buy the helmets, and it gets very costly. You guys look like you outdo all that, because I'm sure this armor isn't cheap.
Well, we have certain sponsors. William is actually sponsored by one of our armors is HBC Armory. So that's, I believe my kit was just on the screen. That's my kit, which is the shiny, pretty kit. And I don't get hit a lot. So,
it looks like you just stepped out of Lord of the Rings. I've got to tell you.
Yeah,
you look like you could be hanging out with the elves, in line with them, and you just matched with them perfectly.
I'm pretty quick, so it stays pretty, but that one's specifically from HBC, and I'm the only female that has a female kit.
Wow.
Everybody else wears a male. Well, I wouldn't say
male armor just looks pretty unisex. It's very streamlined and everything. Yeah. And she's, I think, one of every woman that I've seen in the world, I think she's one of maybe 3 or 4 that has a female fitted chest piece. So It's actually pretty cool, and she's proud of it.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with it.
And you all are called knights because it's okay. Does everybody have, if you don't, do you have to have a sponsor? If you don't, they go out and buy their armor? How does that work?
No, sir. So for you to join, all you need is a membership. Your membership costs $100 annually. I believe it starts April of this year to May of next year is $100, and you can join at any time during the year. And that also gives you insurance. So that way, if let's say that we're doing a demo and a weapon breaks, because it does happen. Yeah. And wood piece flies off and hits somebody. Well, they're insured, they're covered, you're covered. They can't sue you. They're going to be medically taken care of, all of that kind of stuff. So it's definitely worth it. Plus, it's also, really good therapy for a lot of people. We have people that have joined, and it's changed their lives. And, not that they were in any kind of bad shape before, but it's definitely just reshaped where they're going. And it's been something that's awesome to lead and be a part of and see and experience.
And you're part of the Houston Horde. Maybe you can tell me how about, I kind of simplified it at the beginning of the show. Is it a chapter of ACW? How does that work?
So we are a chapter of the ACW, but we also work very closely with other chapters in our region. Our region is called TOL, which is Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And we've got, I want to say, 5 teams here in Texas now. I think there's 2 or 3 in Oklahoma, 1 in Louisiana. And even though we're different chapters, we're all one big family. Whenever we go to national tournaments, we're fighting with the Okies and the Texans and the people from Louisiana, all of our swamp gators out there. And I mean, we really are just one big family. I mean, whenever I work out of town, I stay with a friend, Brandon. I've got a key to his house. So whenever I work in Oklahoma, I stay there. Whenever a buddy of mine that's on the team, his name is Dwayne, just had his kid. We've watched his kids. We've gone on double dates. I mean, we do everything together as a team. We host game nights and grills and all kinds of stuff, man. It's more than just a chapter. We really are a family here. It's a completely different culture.
I was reading through my notes, and it says, what does it take to join? It was giving some of the weights of your competitors when they put on all their armor. That's going to blow people's mind. Maybe you can tell us about some of that.
Yeah, so our smallest fighter, I believe he's about 135, 145 pounds out of armor, 5'4", and our biggest fighter is just under 6 foot and weighs 500 pounds out of armor. In armor, he is over 600 pounds.
He's very fun to fight.
He's very hard to fight.
I can imagine 600 pounds of person with steel and body. That's incredible.
Right. And actually, our little guy is the guy in green on the screen right now. I'm in red, Tyler's in black, and Josh is in the silver plate. But yeah, that's actually a pretty small demo of what we do. And every one of those swings, every one of those shots is with love. I mean, what a lot of people don't know is they hear the shots, they hear the steel ringing out whenever it gets hit, whenever it buckles. What they don't hear is whenever you're locked up with somebody and you're face to face and you're talking to each other. Oh man, I'm tired, or I love you so much. Are you ready to go down? Can you throw me down? I'm tired. Oh man, here comes a big shot, and
hit me harder.
Yeah, you're having a whole conversation. You're laughing and joking. She laughs and jokes with me all the time.
Hard this time.
Yeah, it's great. #Fitty. It's great, man. I mean,
you also have public events where people can pay and come see you as well, and you've got an event coming up June the 18th, which is this Saturday as well, right?
Yes, sir. We're actually hosting it at the Pearland VFW Hall. It's off of 35, just down the road from Pearland High School. We do shows there pretty regular to help support our veterans and our first responders in our communities. Not all of our fighters are competitive fighters. Some people just like to do this as a hobby. Not everybody takes it as serious as the rest of us. And those are the people that we generally send out to do the stuff for, like the Kids Unlimited Foundation, or walk through hospitals at MD Anderson, do book readings, do shows like this, and all of it goes back to the community in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we don't do this to make money for ourselves. We do it to raise money for other people, or we just do it to go out and, win more medals and trophies and stuff like that. I mean, it's never been a money thing for us. It's always been about growing the family and making a difference in our community. That's something that every single one of us has bought into on this team. So
let me ask you this as a last question, because we kind of skirted around the issue and we haven't heard the answer yet. But if I wanted to go out today and buy a suit of armor, what's it going to set me back? Rough estimate.
So, okay, this is actually one of the good things. So normally a very basic kit starts out at about $2,000 to $2,500, which is actually pretty reasonable. But one of the cool things about our team and our family is we buy armor, we trade armor a lot, and we supply armor used to supply armor to everybody on the team until they started getting their own. So now we have 15 sets of armor that we loan out to people that they want to come start, but they don't have the money. They can pay for a membership. They just can't buy armor. That's cool. I'm not going to let that stop you from being a part. If I can take off of my back and give to you, why not? And so that's what we do.
That's great. William Roe and Michelle Roe. William's the president of Houston Horde with the Armored Combat Worldwide, ACW Knights. Look for them on the web. Find them in social media. We'll have some links and how to find you guys in our social media post after the show. I appreciate you both being here. I wish you the best of luck. And it certainly looks like a fascinating sport. And I think you got me beat as far as cost, though. I gave up triathlons recently, so it's saving me money. I don't know if I can go out and spend it on this. My wife might kill me, though. But
well, hey, man, who knows? This could be your new hobby. Our oldest fighter is pushing 62, so
your wife might want to join. It's great marriage counseling.
Oh, she'd want to join.
When he doesn't put the toilet seat down, we just go out front.
They're on the armor.
Thank y'all for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
All right, take care. Very interesting, Carl. You ready to join the Armored Combat Worldwide and become a knight?
If they would have called me 10 years ago, I might have taken them up on offer. But now I'm okay. I'd enjoy watching, though, I'm sure.
About 20 years ago, I was working at a TV station, and all of us decided to go out and play tackle football one Sunday afternoon. And half of us called in sick on Monday because we were hurt and couldn't walk. So, I'm in a little bit better shape now, but running is one thing. Strapping on some armor and having a little fight with another guy that's armored that weighs 600 pounds. I don't see that happening in my future.
No, and I'm a pretty strong guy, but I think I'm okay with just perusing life in the cabin of life, without having those bruises like that.
Yeah, it's certainly fun to watch. All right, we've got some announcements to make. First off, Carl, you may be interested in this. Free haircuts are back.
Hey.
Central College is offering them at hey, you don't even have to walk that far.
No, it's right behind me, man. Right there in the J.B. Whiteley building, man. All you need is your ID.
Yep.
Wednesdays is going down to the 11:30. And then I think, it's funny because I was like, man, that may not be but one haircut.
Yeah.
10 to 11:30, and then what is it? Noon to 1:30 or something like that, or 10 to 11:30.
Yeah, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. on Wednesdays. They take a lunch break and they come back from noon to 1:30.
But that's a great thing, though.
We'll have a link in our social media post after the show. Okay, we're getting short on time, so I want to mention.
Okay.
Juneteenth celebration parades are happening. Next week's Juneteenth holiday is on Monday for all of us. No show on the air that day. And Pearland's having a Juneteenth celebration and Unity Walk, 9 a.m. Saturday, June the 18th. And Missouri City is hosting 1 Mile of Smiles, 7 p.m. Saturday, June the 18th. Make sure you check those out. And I want to skip down, Carl, for the sake of time, to our registration events, because fall registration is underway right now. We need those students to register.
Yes, it is. So you want to make sure you get a chance to be able to come get registered. I mean, you log on. A lot of people are doing it through Zoom. Of course, we're trying to get people back to the campus to definitely be in person. But they can come, especially here at the Central Campus, go, right here in the W.W. Harmon building. Come right in. You can do it. You can, you register online at any time. We are here for you.
Yep, hccs.edu/apply. Okay, Speaking of Juneteenth, tomorrow we got a special guest on the show. Afra Hassan will be talking with us. She's been working as years as the dean of our Missouri City campus. She'll be talking about the festivities we were just talking about. And it's Film Friday. We got a special guest there. Carl, thanks for being here today. We hope to see you again in the near future.
You shall.
All right.
I appreciate you having me on, brother.
All right. Thanks for being here. We'll see him in the future. I'll see all of you tomorrow live, 10 a.m. right here for Up to the Minute.